welcome back to the Messed Up Movies Podcast, the podcast celebrating movies and filmmakers, especially today, that embrace the insane, the outrageous, the unhinged, the off-kilter, and the all-around kind of fun that I'm not sure Alex should be dancing with. I'm your host, Griffey, joined as always by my best friend and co-host, Dan Dino. But today, we have a very special guest, a guest who's here trying to create own messed up art, and we are huge supports of that, right? So, Dooley, welcome to the pod.
Yay! Thank you guys for having me. Griff, real quick, am I not pretty enough?
I mean, I think, to be fair, I'm looking at the Zoom windows. I think you're in first place.
You better give the right answer.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
anyone who comes
I have
on
learned
this
the cost
show
of the wrong answer to that question today.
So, Dooley,
yeah,
we've been friends for a while. We met through Junk Food Cinema, the greatest movie podcast in the land. We met through, that was kind of one of those, we all bonded over COVID through Discord and this and that. I met you. We've played D&D. We've been friends for a while. You came and said, hey, we are making a movie, a very queer, very gay movie. Am I getting this right? In Austin,
yeah, it's
Texas,
pretty queer.
right?
Yeah.
Right. I read the scene in Spark, and I was like, yes, okay, I know exactly what we're doing here. And so you're making a movie called Terms and Conditions. You have a crowdfunding campaign right now. So we would like to spread the word as far as we can. Would you like to tell the people what you're working on, a little bit about the project?
Yeah, so as Griff said, I'm Dooley. My project is Terms and Conditions. It is, I always like to say, it is the real me putting to death the old me.
Yes.
So Terms and Conditions is this quirky, queer horror comedy about a tech bro who uses AI to summon a demon. Unfortunately, the demon that shows up is genderqueer and just wants to sow fucking chaos, especially when they start picking up on some incel vibes. And so it's just a fun little piece.
We're just doing 2025. That's great. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. Is it relevant? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
If it's not relevant,
real ahead
it's
of your time there, Dooley.
Yeah.
Wow.
It should be cathartic. I think we're all down to see tech bros be destroyed.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm at. That's the point I'm at.
So you guys are planning to shoot. If you make your budget right, you're getting local Austin people. You're bringing together a community scene. We try really hard to do that here too. So what can people
you
here
guys have
do?
been a big inspiration for us.
Oh, thanks, man. So what are the best ways that people who are listening to this can help you guys out?
I mean, the best thing you can do is to follow or support the project. You can do that by going to termsandcons.com. That will redirect to our Seed and Spark page. Even if you can't support, if you just follow along there, that helps us. That signals to Seed and Spark that we've got momentum, that people are digging what we're putting out there, and they kind of reward us if we hit certain milestones on followers. So that is the primary place. You can also find us on Instagram and Blue Sky. I'll let Griffey drop those on screen because they're a little complicated, but find us there and hang out, say hi. We will be all over social media for the next 6 weeks while the campaign runs, for sure.
Yeah, it's incredible. I have read this project earlier draft. I'm very excited for this. I think this is going to be a fantastic thing. We need more good art in the world, as we talked about. As times get darker and darker, this is our only way to fight back. This is the only cudgel we have against those people who keep making everything suck. Speaking of people who make everything suck, Dooley, you brought an absolute flamethrower. So I sent you and I said, we've kind of rebranded the show into the Messed Up Movies Podcast. I think you might have got the assignment more than anyone we've had on the show so far. Would you like to introduce the movie you inflicted upon us today?
Yeah, so this is a directorial debut by an Australian filmmaker named Sean Byrne from 2009 called The Loved Ones. And it is a fucked up movie about, just the trials and tribulations of being a teen in the most fucked up way possible.
Yeah, there are. I think we all remember back to high school, those trying times. You're trying to decide who you're going to be in the world. I think this one really does the Spinal Tap crank this up to 11. There's a lot of other things that I don't remember from my teenage years in this film. I do think it's awesome to go back and watch. I remember when this came out, it was really big in the community. And then Sean Byrne actually has gone on to make other movies that I adore. I love Dangerous Animals this year.
Oh, it's
Courtney
great.
Jai just fucking rips in that movie. It's kind of fun to go back. I always think the first movie that a filmmaker puts out is kind of this beautiful thesis on the filmmaker they hope to be, right? A lot of people put out that first one. You see the DNA of what they loved, what their inspirations were. And sometimes,
sure.
you know, as they go through the journey of, you know, a career, we lose some of that, right? I think these first ones, and this one, Sean Byrne really came out and he left no cards in the deck. He's fucking playing everything he's got in his hand in this one for sure.
Including the instructions. Like,
The Joker's, the instructions. He whips the box at your head. Yeah. This is an all-out assault.
There was an Uno card in there at one point, a +4. It was crazy.
So, Dandino, we did not realize this. This was not a coordinated attack by me and Dooley. We did not realize that we put you in the trap of your absolute despair every time an Australian horror movie crosses your path.
I don't think Dooley even knows this. I swear to God.
I didn't know this.
This is like a thing, and I don't know how it happens. Like, okay, so actually, way back after I graduated high school, like my first summer back, I went back to where I grew up for like 2 weeks, and I was staying with a friend. And he's Rob Parr, he's been on the pod. I was staying with a friend, and he had like it was 2000. This was 2005 or 6 or something like that. And he was like, "Hey, I have this Australian movie, Wolf Creek. You want to watch it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, throw it on. Why not?" And we got like 40 minutes. And I was like, "What the fuck are we watching?" Like, and we were early enough in like. I was early enough in like trying to be college, first year of college. So every film student first year of college, you're like, "Oh yes, I watched Blue Velvet, so I'm a genius now. So let's like talk about filmmaking." So I watched Wolf Creek, and I'm like, I don't know about this Australian thing, but everything sucks down there. Holy shit! Like nothing good happens in Australia. It seems everyone goes on vacation, but all the movies that happen here are horrifying. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, I think when you live in a land where everything can murder you, you can't have like, you know, kind of a feet ghost running around. You can't have time for these kind of like, what's that? Like everything is trying to kill you in Australia, and the horror movies seem to be reflecting that. So
I
Dooley,
think that's a great point.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about this movie, Dooley, really spoke to you? Why was this the one that you brought forth?
You know, there's the aughts churned out a lot of crap, right? Like there was a lot of stuff that was just too mean, too ugly.
Yes.
It went too far.
Yeah.
And The Loved Ones, it just walks that tightrope so perfectly. Like it's mean and it's gnarly, but at the same time, there's moments where you find yourself chuckling, maybe against your will, or you know, it just
a lot.
Yeah, you know, there's just a really good emotional through line, and there's good humor to it. And it was someone who they understood the environment they were putting out their first, feature-length horror film in, and they rose to that. But then somehow also told a story that you actually give a shit about the characters at the end. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we in the aughts we did this kind of, it was all like Japanese curse movies we were importing. And then everything had this disgusting, like, rust color palette. It was brutal. It was mean. Story didn't matter as long as we were absolutely savaging the human form. Yeah, just, and I torture porn might be my least favorite of the horror genres, right? Like, I will watch a bad exorcism movie any day of the week. There's something about torture porn that just, it fucking misses me. What I love about this one, right, is, again, you get actual color. You get actual human beings. There's this weird like tip of the hat to the audience of, we know this is hard to watch. We know there's a lot of things you're not into. What if we did this like half a fucking Michael or whatever his name was, right? I do half of this fucking nerdy John Hughes side story. So when it's getting at its worst, you can reset and watch a guy trying to get laid, right? That's fun. You like that.
Yeah.
I think that was such a crucial add to this. Because I was like, that's the high school I remember, not all this shit that's happening.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there. Hang on. There's no way that's the high school you remember, because that is the most liberal high school I have ever seen. Where, like, the teacher in the middle of a dance while some girl's just jerking some guy off. It's like, if you want to go outside, do that somewhere else.
All right, take it elsewhere.
Holy shit.
Well, that guy also, to be fair,
whoa.
also a little creepy. He's just kind of sitting there watching. He's like, And he's like, I meant over there. And it's like, all right, creep. Don't pull the high hand on me now. You're just watching this.
It wasn't a thing where it's like,
whoa,
whoa, hey, kids, keep your hands to yourselves. That's not okay. It was literally like, take that somewhere else. I'm like, wow, that is very enlightened behavior. Like,
it is kind of funny.
Not your
I think it shows you the kind
not
of
my high school.
it shows you the carnage of this movie that we're watching an underage girl get absolutely fucking blacked out. And again, I was like, oh, they're doing the thing. This nerd's going to be like a good guy and win her over with his good behavior. No, they go a full Revenge of the Nerds route. And that's like the breath of fresh air moment in the movie.
Yeah, that's
the character we're
That's
supposed to.
saying a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, when they cut to that scene where she is just fucking pounding him in the backseat, I was like, whoa! I was like, okay, I forgot that part of the movie. I was like, Jesus Christ. But somehow, that's the soothing part of the story.
Yeah, that's the part like, oh,
insane.
finally, I get a breather. Jeez. Oh, my God.
Well, and then the crazy thing is that actually ties into the A plot, too. Like,
Yes.
It turns out her brother was the, like, fucked up guy in the cold open and, like, that caused everything else to happen. It was like, oh, okay. Now I understand why she's the goth girl and she's super depressed. That makes sense.
Dude, when she goes back into her house and just balled up crying, why can't you find him after everything we've just seen? I was like, there's just no escaping this movie. This movie's fucking holding us down in the mud like John Candy in Stripes. We'll never get out. We're never going to escape this film.
No. Unrelenting. Nonstop. Just.
Which, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, that is why the very last bit of the kill is just because you do feel like you've been held in the mud the whole 90 minutes and you're like,
oh yeah,
oh thank God.
Yeah. So yeah, we mentioned that the movie starts with this cold open, right? There's a guy just walking through the middle of nowhere who I guess gets recaptured, which is fucking insane because the dad and him are just kind of listening to old music. They're talking about how he's a boomer.
They're listening to Little
darts.
River Band.
Yeah,
Get it right.
LRB, right? We also
LRB,
the Fall
come
Guys.
on.
Yeah, little LRB. Great kind of father-son moment, right? They swerve off. It just hard cuts. I didn't realize for like another 5 minutes that kid's dad dies in that moment, and the kid they see fucked up did not escape, right? Because I kind of think of this movie as almost the movie I think this is the spiritual successor to is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? This is the Australian Chainsaw Massacre. That's the
100%.
energy they're capturing. Except for at the end, if the girl doesn't get in the truck and drive away laughing, she just gets recaptured somehow and probably killed by the lead in the pit at the end. But it sets us up on this. The guy lost his dad, and he's trying to re-put his life together, right? At the end, we see a note he wrote to his girlfriend, right? Thank you for doing what all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't do, right? And it's a little heavy-handed, right? The movie is not, again, this is also like Funny Games, right? This movie's trying to hit you in the face. So he's very sad. He's got the little razor blade necklace, which I was like, oh, I remember Hot Topic. Those were good years, right?
Yeah,
he's like, he does that scene.
Moment.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, come on, dude. All right, we get it. But there's this scene where he goes out and he's like, I can't take mom no more, right? She wants to get me an Uber to prom. What a bitch. And he goes out climbing on these rocks. And he leans back on the rocks. And I was like, oh no, this is dangerously close to losing me. Like, this is very over the top. But it's setting this tone. This is what it is. And I think about it because I think why I like high school age movies, that is the time in life where you think everything that happens is the end of the world. Everything is Armageddon to you when you're that age. And it works. And then the movie, of course, becomes an Armageddon. So, Dooley, what do you think that this kind of overly dramatic high school storyline adds to the start and then carries through the rest of the film?
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it, right? Like, when you're in that moment, every little slight, from our perspective now as older people, is like the end of the world, right? And I mean, as a parent to teens, that's one thing I've always tried to tell them is like, I understand, like, this is the most important thing in your life. Take a deep breath. Yeah. Like, we can get through this, and I promise you it'll get better. And at some point in your life, this won't seem as important. But the way this movie, like, sets you up is you're in it with it. I mean, you see him, Brent, the main character, you see him when he kills his own dad because he's swerving to hit this guy in the road, right? And then you see the fallout, and then you're with him as he almost commits suicide. And yeah, you're right. Like, that is very heavy-handed. But then there's also that moment of like, nope, I'm just going to keep going, but I'm going to lay here and listen to like some like heavy metal on my Walkman or whatever he was listening to, you know, and that's when he gets kidnapped. And it's just like this poor kid, like nothing in his life is easy. And it just got way, way, way fucking worse. And
yeah,
they don't let him, you know, there's not a moment where they go easy on him because, well, to get to the actual story, he's kidnapped by the father of a girl from school, right? She asked him to the dance and he said, no, I have a girlfriend. And she's like, Daddy, go get him. So Daddy kidnaps him. And like the first thing they do is inject Drano into his vocal cords so he can't scream. And it's just like,
it goes
this
insane.
Kid's life just gets harder and harder and harder with every moment. And he comes to that realization of, oh, maybe like this teen angst bullshit that I was worried about really isn't that big a deal.
You know, it's not that big a deal.
Shit, look what I went through tonight.
Yeah, well, I think there's this moment because we see all this teenage stuff, right? And the needle drops are huge. They're in your face. And we're kind of setting this tone, right? Because I remember the thing I laughed about is he's listening to it on his Walkman. I used to come home, and when I was trying to prove a point, you would crank your fucking stereo you had on your dresser.
Oh, yeah,
so your family could know what you were going through, right? Like, you're going to listen to Korn with me. That's how mad I am.
That's right. That's
and,
right.
And we see that. And we see these kind of high school moments, right? The I'm not going to go to the dance, right? That kind of guy. The one kid, he's triumphant. The goth girl's going to go with him. And there is like a simple beauty and terror in that moment of the girl is just like, hey, will you go to the dance with me? Just kind of this normal looking, plain high school girl. She's shooting her shot. And just that, oh, sorry, man, I have a girlfriend. And you know they go to school. You know she knows. And it's heartbreaking, right? It takes you back to Carrie and these other great high school whores. I do think one of the things we don't find out until he gets in the car and the girl's like, who asked you out? He's like, I can't tell you. He's trying not to shit on her, right? He tells her at the very end. We don't know till he goes in the house. Guy. Exactly. He's pretty cool. We don't know till he goes in the house that the dad's dead. Like, that hit me like a sledgehammer. Alex, what did you make of that drop? I think that's kind of another really smart choice. Like, they didn't show him at the funeral and then go to school. What did you make of that when they dropped that in addition to the high school carnage?
You know what's interesting? I actually figured out pretty quickly, and I don't know why. It's because the makeup, he was pale. He was like, oh, he's
this is your old emo coming back. You're like an emo Sherlock Holmes.
Like being an elder emo is really like come in handy here because one, I'm like, oh, that metalcore shit, I get it. The other one was, yeah, he was like a little paler. I'm like, oh, his dad probably died. I was like, I don't know how else to go with it. I'm like, that's got to be it, right? It can't just be being a teenager. That can't be the only bad thing going on here.
Yeah, I guess his mom looks a little too post a big event, right? Like, this is not like a normal mom, right? Like, something happened in this family.
She looked, you know what's weird? She looked like in all the promos for, this is weird, in all the promos for Shutter Island, she looked like the lady. I swear to God, it's the weirdest thing. Like, I don't think that's her. It's not her.
Anytime you pulled your comfy chair to the window and just have that TV dinner tray with booze and an ashtray, you know things are not going well.
Yeah, I mean,
life is not going well for you.
It's a perfect double down, though. Like, it really does. It does work. Like, the teen angst thing, I think, you know, this is going to sound really fucking terrible, but that teen angst sweetener, along with like parental tragedy, that's like this really, like, it actually makes the teen angst thing that much more palatable. And you're like, oh God, dude. Like, when she walks out, because again, like when Lola walks up, it's like a very innocuous ask, like, hey, will you go to the dance? I'm like, nah, I got it. And like, oh, it's just being polite. He's just telling her the truth. He could have done that thing that like the popular guy would do in any other team. He's like, oh yeah, I'll see you there, and then doesn't. But you know, I liked how just sort of innocuous it was, because you're like, I don't think that. Again, it was like such a great like misnomer, because I'm like, well, that's not going to come back and haunt anybody. I mean, like, I'm sure it's the girl who he's like finger blasting in the car right now. It's not going to be the other girl who just asked like randomly. I mean, I'm sure she's important somehow. Maybe she'll save him, and then you're like, well, never mind. I'm all out of straws on this one. Like, you're just like, as soon as she shows up again, it's literally like, well, all right, that's it. Like, you just throw all your cards on the table, like, along with the rest of the movie. You're like, I don't give a shit. Like, I'm not guessing anymore in this movie. I'm not guessing anymore.
It's such a violent and shocking turn. Because again, I think I've always loved, I know we share this, Alex. I don't know if you do, Dooley. We love teenage melodrama shows, right? The Skins, the Degrassis of the world. And again, I think what you love about it is you get older. I like them more now than I did when I was young. Because you look back to a simpler time. You're like, where something like prom was important. And you're like, God, what I wouldn't give for those fucking non-adult problems right now.
We started rewatching Dawson's Creek, and I was just like, God,
Amy's
this dude is such a bitch. Like, oh my God.
I knew I was getting older when Girls came out. In the first episode, she's like, my parents want me to get a job. And I was like, I can't do this show.
Yeah.
I was like, I have a job. It fucking sucks.
This actually just happened. I rewatched Girls in my late 30s, and I'm like, oh, I get this now. Like, this is still annoying, but I'm supposed to be annoyed by it. And then I was just annoyed because it's like, oh, Lena Dunham actually has this opportunity. This is fucked up. I should not. This is not cool.
Exactly.
Now it's like,
and what I love about this movie, it uses those kind of tropes of the high school melodrama. And then out of nowhere, you just see this guy coming up. He chloroforms him. He's in the back of the car, and you're like, but they're still getting ready for prom. What's happening? What's happening?
Right.
When we cut to that girl in the room, right? And she gets the dress from Daddy. And this was brilliant casting. This guy looks insane. And like I said, he's a character from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He would be at that dinner table.
For sure.
When he gives the dress, and she's excited, and she's trying on the dress in front of him, you get this hint of you're like, what is about to happen to me? I was trying to take myself back to the first time watching it. And I do find there is this thing now in horror movies, right? We've kind of come full circle. We got away from torture porn. We went artsier. Now we're back in the, you got to grab my fucking attention somehow. We always talk about we're trying to make messed up movies, right? And I always tell Heath, I was like, dude, every time I go to the theater, I am seeing the wildest shit constantly. It's everywhere now. And this one has that, like, we were still at this time where I was like, what's coming? Like, is this guy banging his daughter? It's a little innocuous. And then that guy wakes up in the tuxedo. He's at a table with a lady with a hole in her face. The girl's in a dress. The dad's in a suit. And it's one of those most beautiful things that happen in cinema where all the tools of cinema, right? Set dressing, the passage of time, the writing. You're like, I have 55 fucking questions. And none of them can have answers that make me feel better. Dooley, what did you think as this movie fucking cranks it up to 11?
Yeah, I mean, the introduction of Bright Eyes, the woman with the hole in her head that clearly has no mind left, and the weird relationship between Lola and Daddy as the only thing he's called the whole movie is just, like, it's in that moment around the table when you realize I have no idea what's coming next, and I don't know if I actually want to keep watching this. But I will say, the thing that makes you want to keep watching it is that performance by the actress who played Lola, Robin McLeavy. She's got them crazy eyes, and she looks sweet in one moment, and then like she's going to fucking murder you in the next moment, and it's just you don't know where you're going, but you want to see where she's going to take you. And so, like for me, that was it.
It's
like
something else, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the hardest things in acting
bizarre.
when you're playing a serial killer or something like that. It's how do you approach it, right? When we did Sugar Tits, that's something we talked about all the time. Is like, I don't want to do the like Joker serial killer, right? You see that a lot in low budget where it's like, I'm crazy. And I was like, the beautiful ones, the real serial killers, right? If you're a true crime junkie like me, these people fucking blend in. I just watched BTK's Daughter. That guy like worked at a church. He was a Boy Scout. That guy fucking was a part of the community. I think real psychos like this, they have that other thing. And she's so, and I think you see it not to shit on Daddy. I think he's great too. Is this like counterpart phenomenal. Who's like been doing it for decades and now he's losing it. But he's playing it like I'm a crazy man. She is this beautiful blend of this is just her natural essence. Like she's just a person like us whose mind goes further. And she is captivating in every frame of this movie.
Yeah, I think you get the real sense that like Brent almost wants to trust her in some moments because like, oh, you're not as fucked up as Daddy.
Yeah,
maybe
we had study hall together. What?
right. I can trust you. No, you can't, buddy. I'm sorry.
Dude, the scene where you knew where you're like, she's going to dominate this movie was the chicken. Is it finger licking good? And you're just like, that scene fucked me up. Alex, what were you making of this moment?
I don't know. I was too busy retching. That is so, that is like the grossest shit. Like, anytime food is sort of this... Food is not, like, my thing in movies anyways, but, like, anytime, like, especially as, like, weaponized, it's like, oh, good Lord. Like, between that... You know, the thing I was really, like... I was just, like, kicking myself as this scene progressed, because I was like, damn it. How did I not pick up that the quiet one was the crazy one? I am so mad at myself right now. Like, I was so thrown. I was just like, I can't believe the girl who asked was this is insane.
But that's the brilliance. Like, when they do the hold on her the first time, it's just like, look at how hard it is to be a teen. She's like, a background. She's setting,
filled with these bait and switches. Like, I think this is the thing I like the most about it, is the movie's filled with these bait and switch moments. And most of them are, like, to take you to an extreme, like, things that, like, I'm never asked to see in a movie. But I'm just like, we're there. I'm going to go there. Like, we're just going to go there. Like, I really like I think this is the difference between, like, this kind of movie and something that's, like, in the torture porn realm, is the amp up never really feels unwarranted. I'm just like, I guess we're going here. Like, I don't feel like I'm watching someone trying to push a limit because they can. There's, like, an actual story reason for it. None of it feels out of line with these characters, and I think that's the reason I actually think it's still watchable. Because I agree, there's moments where you're like, I might need to turn away from this because something gross is about to happen.
I was watching it as my kids started getting home from school, and it was like, can I have this on? Is there, like, possibly running her around in the house? Yeah, because there's, she's doing the suck my finger. And Daddy's like, he's like getting like turned on but mad, right? Like, that's my piece. And then she does she's making him piss in the jar. And she's just like simple things like, Daddy, get the hammer, right? If you don't piss in the next 10 seconds, Daddy's going to nail your dick to the chair. And it's one of those, I do this thing when I take notes where I do like little like one lines of a scene so I can call it back, right? This is one of those where I kept having to like, I was writing paragraphs because I was like, oh, remember that he's going to nail the dick to the chair. Remember the chicken. Remember that I better kiss it and make it better. Maybe I'll bite it off so you can't stick it in her. And then the kick. It's like there were so many actions happening in strains, right? That it is just this, you cannot catch your breath with this. And when it goes back to the guy clumsily trying to get laid, you're like, oh, Jesus Christ. The moment every one of those scenes ends and you see the inside of this house again, you're just like, God, no, fuck, no. Yeah.
But I will say one of the great things to like build on what Dandino was saying is, I don't know, I'm assuming it was a budget restraint, but one of the things it does that torture porn never like thought maybe we should do is some of the most gruesome stuff happens off camera. Like Absolutely. They give you all the buildup, all the setup for it. You know what's happening. And then they just like go to someone's expression. And again, I'm assuming it was a budget constraint, like they couldn't pull off the effect. Honestly, it works so much better because, like if we've learned nothing from horror, we can always come up with fucked up shit in our heads, right?
Yeah.
It's much worse when I don't see it. Again, like that's that Hitchcock edict, like it's never, what's going on in my mind is so much worse than what actually I can see. Mm-hmm. Like if you showed 100%. It to me, I'd be like, be fine.
Well,
fine.
That's the first Texas Chainsaw, right? They go through that, how that movie actually doesn't have a ton of carnage. It's all implied. We never see the moments of the going in or the chainsaw. It's all kind of implied carnage, right? And again, another thing I thought about with Texas Chainsaw is that the scene in that always haunts me is when Leatherface is getting admonished and like hit. And he's like, and he's like this big fucking terrifying guy. But there's also this scared, broken person in there. In this movie, again, the reason I don't think it's torture porn is because there's a character, right? When I think back to Hostel, there's no character. When I think back to Saw, it's like, yeah, there's Jigsaw. And he has this great motive. But those movies, as they kept going on, there's less and less of that, right? There's here's the character on the shirt and then just a bunch of bullshit. And what I love about this is it's real broken, damaged people. You see this real methodology of they've gone through this a bunch. I was like, how many fucking dances do they have at this fucking town, right? Like, there's a bunch of these. She has a scrapbook, right? They add these touches that make more. And the effects thing, right? We're doing this now. We're making a movie, and effects are the hardest thing. We're trying to figure it out on the fly. And it is this, like, if you can set it up just enough, right? Like, here's a knife in the foot and a hammer. Then you can cut up and show the rest of the scene, right? We know exactly what's happening on those extra 8 hits. You know what I mean? We don't have to see it
100%.
all. But it's still my foot is still throbbing as I watch the movie. It's one of those you see a first-time director just kind of pulling all the right levers, right? And it's visceral and intense, and even scenes like when he climbs up the tree, right? And they're just whipping rocks at him.
Okay,
That's fucking horrifying, and it's works.
Horrifying. I did laugh when he fell out of the tree. Like
This reminded me of that scene in What We Do in the Shadows when
Dooley was talking about. Which is like, I did not think I would laugh that hard, but like the clump, the boom, I'm like, okay, well that's just fucking hilarious.
Well, they both kind of stand over him like
jackass level fun. It's just like, all right, they're just like shocked it happened. I'm like, I would be too. He just like fell out of the tree and just that's it. That's the scene.
It's so good. And the scene right after that is actually the most brilliant to me example of the don't show the carnage, right? When dad's pounding the fucking steak knives into the foot. And she's sitting on his lap and she's like, fucking cry. Cry. 'Cause he starts off screaming and wailing and then he kind of fucking hardens, right? He's like, okay, this is what we're doing. Let's go. And she's going, cry. And he just fucking won't. He's just looking at her. Why would I want to see the fucking knife go another centimeter in the foot when I can watch that? That's what I want to see, right? I want to see dad's expression, her, those two face to face. That's what I want to see, man. And that's when the movie's like, okay, we're not getting out of this house. There's a moment you're like, maybe they'll run around. Maybe there will be a chase. No, we're fucking staying in this house. This is the Thunderdome for the rest of the movie. And it's fucking great, dude. I do want to say there's a moment that really stood out in this bit when she's trying to do the dance and he's fucking still nailed to the floor. They're kind of dancing. When she goes to dad for the dance, this is again one of those where it's like, we're going to take all the subtext out. And she's like, Daddy, this is why none of them work. This is why I can't find a prince, because you were always the prince. It is one of those things I was like, will haunt me forever. The kind of them getting closer with both of their mouths open. And thank God it stopped when he falls back on the chair to cover his razor blade. I'm always stunned at how many needles this movie can jam into me. Because I would say that's got to be one of the wildest things in the movie. And it's not but 10, 15 minutes after that where we open the floor and do a whole people under the stairs segment. This movie hits you on so many fucking levels of disgust. It's incredible.
I gotta know, because this is the thing. There's a lot of things in this movie, like a lot of like bits of I'm like iconography is not the right word, but just like pieces of story from like the fact that it all fits together is fucking mind blowing. Am I crazy that it all kind of just like it doesn't like feel mashed up? Like it's crazy that it works.
Yes,
right?
This is something you see as we've been on the festival circuit, and Dooley, you work at Fantastic Fest, so you probably watch 1,000 more things than we do. You see a lot of those where it's like you see people doing a horror greatest hits for their low-budget movie, where it's like, oh, 100%. I remember that scene, I remember that. I do think it's beautiful how they kind of put this in a pot, and it blends together like a good soup.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can see the influences clearly, but it never feels like they're just ripping off another movie.
I'm always waiting. Like, this movie keeps having things happen. I'm like, oh my God. I'm waiting for like a hat on a hat moment, and none of it feels that way, and it totally fucking should. It's wild.
Agree 100%. Yeah, and you're right. Like, working at Fantastic Fest, I see a lot of things that they're low budget, and it's, God bless them, like, it's a filmmaker who's like, here's all my influences, and like, here's my story, and I want to get it out. And the problem is, you didn't tie the story to the influences all the time, and you know, like, we're all learning, we're all trying to make stuff, and sometimes that's just what happens. But I never felt that way with this movie. Like, yeah, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing jumped out immediately to me, like, once I kind of saw the house and all that. And like, there's all these different influences that are very obvious influences in the movie, but Sean Byrne just expertly like connects the dots all the way along the way.
Perfect.
And you know what's insane about that too? It's connecting the dots without telling us how he got there, right? Like, when you remember the old connect the dots on the menus when I was a kid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Mm-hmm. Somehow we get in this house, right? There's been a ton of them, right? We never find out what happens. There's no, like, a serial killer's been at large. They don't have a serial killer name. we just start cutting the heads off of animals and throwing it to people in the floor. We don't have to explain that. We get it. Bright Eyes is at the table immediately. I have a note here in my thing is like, what's that on her head? And I wrote that 3 times until I figured out what it was. We don't ever explain, is that actually the mom? Is that a first thing that he started and then his daughter and him picked it up as a hobby together? The fact that we don't have to explicitly say, we don't have to explain all the imagery, right? Some of the best stuff in horror, don't explain the imagery. Just let us sit there and ask why. And that we start tying it to ourselves and have authorship of why that's scary to me, right? Like the idea of whatever Bright Eyes is scarier to me because they don't like at the end when she smothers her, she does say, you know, goodbye, mom. I don't know that that's her fucking mom. Yeah. Like that doesn't help.
Like I'm going to trust Lola at this point in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Lola is an unreliable
that unreliability is actually a huge advantage this movie has.
Right, because it's just like if they had gone back and Dad's like, you know, like when she's like, you know, Dad, you're the prince. That's why these kids don't work. And he's like, well, when I met your mom, like that doesn't help the movie, right? Like he knows when to not tell us everything. And I think it's such a, and everyone loves Inception, but I use this just as an example. I think of it as the Elliot Page character in Inception, right? Where they're like, what's that? Like that character is there to ask what the hell's going on. And then Leo can lay it out with real fucking cool music and all this exposition. Sure. And a movie like that, you know, probably needs it. Christopher Nolan's an expert.
I think Dooley brought this point up, though. Like, that performance is, like, exposition, text, subtext, foreshadowing. Like, all of it comes out of that performance without needing to do anything other than just be whatever that character. Like, that is a next level. That is a next level piece of acting. Like,
yeah,
it is like the perfect example of show don't tell, because you're right. Like a lot of it is exposition, but it's exposition through performance. She's not clearly stating, well, I need another boyfriend, or, you know, we've done this 12 times and none of them have worked out. Like, yeah,
like we cut to the book, right? And we don't fucking hammer down, this was the guy junior year freshman. It's just kind of like, oh, this is a thing, right?
Which
just builds on
the thing she points out in the book is her. She's like, that's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
That's
which
the one
also
that got
begged
away.
the question. I was like, I began wondering towards the end too. I was just like, I didn't even think about it in the scene because I was just like because immediately after the incest thing goes, and I'm like, oh, I'm focused on this completely. So like after I finished the movie, I was like, how old is she? She's done this a few times.
Yeah.
Is she even a high school student technically at this point? Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just regular incest rather than the, you know, really creepy version that we had.
Is this a Twilight thing? Is she just like sneaking into this school still? Like, we don't know. Clearly she has classes. They know who she is. But it's like, it starts asking these questions like, something's going on with her and Dad. Who started that? Is Dad doing this for her because she has dirt on him? You start asking all these things that, again, don't need these crystal clear explanations, because then you lose the ability to add your own madness, right? Like, we get it. These people live in a house of horrors. They're doing terrible things. This movie's also a lot about the kind of fear of a high school student, right? Of, who am I? I have to define myself. What happens when other things in the world start defining me in a way that I don't want to be defined? And the horror of that is omnipresent through the movie, right? And the more you put these kind of guardrails where, no, this is exactly what it is, you take away the horror of, it's fucking awful in the world when we can't define ourselves how we want to be defined, right? Especially in high school, right? Like, and again, I think that's another beautiful weapon that the movie just knows when to let us inject our own fears into the film.
Yeah.
Which, you know, for the audience who does not know me the way Griff does, I came out as genderqueer at 42. I went through high school not being able to figure out who the fuck I was. I went through my 20s and my 30s without being able to figure out who I was. That fear is like a deep seated fear that lived with me for a long, long time of like, I don't feel right in the world. I don't feel right in my environment. I love things and I love people about it, but something isn't right. And so, yeah, to see that fear just always there in Brent's life and in his girlfriend's life and in the B plot, it's their fear too, right? And it's just always there. that spoke to me a lot, as someone who lived with that for so many years.
It's pretty fascinating how that works. Like, it does just, again, like, I think because we're we're older, so like that teenage melodrama thing, that unknowable about being a teenager seems so far away. But holy shit, man, like it really is like the sprinkles on top of the cake in this movie. Like, you're just like, how am I like, I'm just feeling this. Like, you're just again, like,
or the glitter sprinkled on you by daddy as you're dancing, if you will.
Yeah.
The whole scene is so
remember
weird.
I was not a fashionable kid, but like
with the sprinkle. Sorry, I'm sorry,
oh, dude.
I'm sorry.
No, it's like, but what metal T-shirt can I wear today, and what does that say about me? I used to carry drumsticks in the side of my backpack just so people would know I was putting it out there like, that guy's a cool drummer guy. Even though I couldn't fucking play drums, I fucking sucked. But I wanted that to be part of my thing, right?
Sure.
And that's like, you battle that all the time, and that's without someone taking me to the house, stripping me butt naked, and putting me in a tux that somehow fits. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these extra things, right? Without the...
Let's not ask too many questions about that part.
Exactly. Without the, the things you're dealing with, right? The gender stuff. Without all the others.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard enough to just be what society's telling you you're supposed to be. You know what I mean? And then high school becomes this weird box where it's like, the state says you have to go there. You have to be with these people. You have to trust these adults that don't fucking like you very much and hate your youth and your culture and all this stuff. And I think that's the other element of the film, that the high school melodrama, right? The John Hughes bits are really amped up when you put them in this kind of serial killer, torturous situation, because it gives us this extra layer, right? A way that something like Hostel, which is one of my most hated movies of all time, there's nothing in that for me that I related to at all, right? It's just this movie that says, have you ever thought about harming someone? And you're like, well, yes, I'm a person. Everyone's thought of that. And it's like, do you want to watch that? And I'm like, well, no.
No, not
like,
really.
I've never done that in real life. I've thought about it. I don't need to sit here and just watch you cut tendons and fucking blowtorch faces. That does very little for me when there's not a story or a world that I give a shit about, right?
See, that's what it is. Like, this feels like as far away as this couldn't be, like as odd and crazy and glitter in a pool of blood as this is
that shot's so good.
Great shot. I do like, there is a relatability to this movie that I agree, like, Hostel is literally about rich people who are just, oh god, I'm so bored, I'm just gonna kill people, it'd be cool. Like, you're like, never gonna be my problem. I'm never gonna be rich enough to be like, you know what I'm gonna do? Kill people and get away with it. It'd be great.
Well, again, this is why we need to make Dooley's movies, because we don't want to watch the rich people win and destroy us. We want to fucking destroy the rich. That's the way these movies should go. Yeah. I it's one of my most hated. I hate shows and movies about how hard it is to be rich. I want to see those people who are destroying everything feel what we feel down here, right? Like, that's the inversion that doesn't work in those kind of movies. And this movie's just real world basic problems, right? Because at the end of the day, even think of this Lola character who's insane. We don't know if the dad gave that to her or if the dad is another one of her kind of victims, right? Is she just this charismatic cult-like figure to her, right? And he's just like, well, that's my girl. She wanted me to drill a hole in mom's head. We don't know how this started. What we know is that this girl has this infatuation with finding her Prince Charming, right? Maybe it was dad for her first. That's fucked up, right? We don't want to spend too much time in those waters, but we ask the question. All we know is that this is a girl who listens to this fucking song on repeat about how she's not pretty. Does she make you laugh? Am I good enough? And she's like, that's what I want to play at my wedding. And you're like, that tells me
that's
a
the
fuckload
song
about the terrors that this girl's going through before she inflicts them on others. And that character is the necessary element to let me have fun as I do these just indefensibly despicable moments in the movie, right? Like the chopping a head off a fucking possum and dropping it into your floor where all your ex-boyfriend Dahmer zombies live, right? I can have fun with that because there's a character and there's a story and methodology, right? And again, I do think by the time the movie gets to the people under the stairs moment, now that becomes a little bit of this unreality that lets us have a little more fun, I think. I think that was also a good choice, because if you just keep it torturing this kid in a chair, that's hard to sit with for a long time. Once we do the floorboard thing, you're like, oh, we're doing movie stuff now. And then you just kind of ride this fucking triumphant fucking steed into Valhalla for the end of the movie.
Okay.
It's bizarre that cannibalism can suddenly be a form of release as well, right?
You're just like, oh, finally. Finally,
Oh my God,
this doesn't
finally,
feel like
dude.
something.
Finally,
that could
these
happen
guys
to
get
me.
a sweet deal of face meat. Oh my God. Just like,
Yeah, well, even they're like the guy we've been
lot of
rooting for.
face
We're
eating.
like, he's thrown down there and then has to kill all these other unfortunate high school kids.
yeah.
But at that point, we're like, oh, this is more of a movie thing. That's fine. That's
Again,
fine. He
so
needs a
much
ladder
thi-
to get up there.
That guy was a thin man. I didn't understand. There was not a lot of face meat, but all they're eating is face. It's so weird.
Yeah. Oh, dude, once they threw that cop down there, those guys were like, like they were getting the bibs on. Yeah. They were like the
Yes.
cartoon wolf who smells a pie. They're like, finally, motherfucker. Some aged old chubby meat. We're ready.
Again,
Eat.
I didn't do this, and I'm mad I didn't. But Griffey, this feels like something you might have done. Not murder people and eat them, but
I mean, I would.
you
I'm on
time-
record. I will 100% eat people if it's for survival. Or if that person said, my wish is that someone eats me so I'm not a waste, I would 100% eat a human.
did you time how
In an
long
ethical way.
that last shot was? Did you time it out?
No,
didn't,
I
and I'm
didn't.
mad at
I
myself for
didn't
not
because,
doing it.
again, I was kind of watching this the same way I watch porn because my
yeah, I
kids
was
were about.
fucking-
So I was kind of like one of those naughty watchings. So I wasn't trying to drag it
I
out.
was so after it was over, I was so mad I did not like time it, and I was like, oh, maybe I can go back, and it was just like, it's like no, like
The
that-
moment had passed,
but like, moment had passed. I was so disappointed in myself. It felt like 10 minutes, but it
Yeah,
wasn't.
it's a
But it was-
lot. Again, I think by the time we get to the people under the stairs and then the cop getting the call from her where he's like, hey, have you checked out Lola Stone? His daughter's crying. He's like, I'm going right now. That's such a horror movie trope that, again, I'm not watching this as viscerally, right? We're like, oh, now we're ending the movie. Now I'm just kind of watching it as like a funhouse ride. I do wonder, there was a small part of me, I don't know if this hit you guys, right? Because she's like, and this moment's fucking great too. She's like, yeah, I'm going to go stab your mom because you killed daddy. And then I'm going to go kill your girlfriend. And she just starts walking, right? She's not in a car. She's like out of her mind. I was like, what a great fucking beautiful image. Her walking down the street singing her sad girl song.
With
I was
her
like, I
scrapbook.
fucking love this. Yeah, with her fucking scrapbook and a knife. That's all she's got. No shoes, whatever. And she tries to kill
walking around
Holly.
with
And then
evidence.
the guy comes out, right? He stacks the dead bodies. He fucking chin-ups out of there. We do this bookend image, right? Where he dodges his girlfriend and then fucking smashes the villainous girl, right? There is this moment. I fucking adore this moment, right? Where they're sitting in the car and she gets in and she sees her boyfriend. She's like, ah! Because now he's got a fucking hole drilled in his face. They're trying to boil his brain with water. And she's
At
like
this point,
repulsed, right? And then all of a sudden you just hear this, and she's dragging her fucking broken body. She has one mission left. That's
the
all.
long shot. The one.
There was it's so
I
good.
fucking
It's
died.
one of my favorite images because
The
it's almost like
compound
a
fracture
comedy.
on the one wrist with like the bone sticking out, and
It
good.
hurts to
Couldn't
watch.
stop laughing.
She's and
Shouldn't
it's
have laughed,
one of those
couldn't
great.
stop.
It's almost like an Edgar Wright shot where it's like this wide shot of the car in the front and you see her inching there. A small part of me thought they were letting her off the hook a little bit. I did not want them to back the car up on her. I knew it was coming. It was fun. That made me a little sad. If I had one quibble with this movie, which I think is damn near a flawless, if not brutal ride of a movie, don't fucking run her over. Leave her fucking broken ass out there and make her fucking pay for this stuff, right? I want her walked out. I guess you could say, and maybe you guys will disagree with me, that maybe letting her then have an audience in jail is the easier way out. I thought killing her was a little bit of a cop-out. I wanted her to fucking suffer forever.
Dooley, what do you think? I want to hear what Dooley says. I want to hear what Dooley thinks first.
I mean, first of all, the choice to put that moment in slow motion, I thought was what took me out of it, because it's like you're backing the car up to kill someone. You're going to be going fast, but now it's in slow mo, so now the car's just crawling.
It looks like it's idling, like he accidentally
Right, it
went
looks
in
like
her-
it's almost just rolling backwards down a hill. It was wild. But no, like the way that it hits her, and you just know like her head just snapped entirely backwards. I was like, nah, she deserved that. I'm good.
I'm not saying she didn't deserve it. I wanted worse for her. Because again, we're
Sure.
watching this guy drive back to his mom's house with a hole in his head. Also, I was like, hey, Holly, take the keys from him. Don't let him drive.
Yeah,
He's got a fucking hole in his head.
Not doing well right
This is not good.
I really did appreciate, and I can't believe I'm going to use this word, but I am going to say it. I really appreciated the cinema of that death because that's what made it worthwhile. Like,
yeah, when you say it cunty like that, it makes your argument hard to argue with. Cinema.
Just let it waft.
This was cinema.
Waft it a
little.
like
Real
that,
true cinema.
that, like, the wide cut to the slow-mo, like, you're just like, because you know why? It gives you the time to be like, because at first I was like, oh, God, we're just going to run this bitch over and that's going to be the end of this movie? God, that's like a cop-out. And then as I'm sitting there staring at her dumb face, I'm like, fucking run this
that
bitch
shot.
over. Yeah.
Oh.
Like, get her.
So good.
Cinema. Yeah. It's hard to argue it. It's so good.
Yeah. Like,
but
that's
again,
the
it's
thing
like,
is you're just like, you're like hearing Dragon Force in your head. You're like,
yeah.
you're like,
you know what
yes,
also makes me
it.
mad? This is going to make me sound like a bad person. I didn't like that they gave her the dignity of, we just see that, like, it's almost like when you see someone get hit with a dodgeball in a high school movie where it's like, bink, like her head just goes over. I thought we were going to see like a full, like, her getting gauged in Pet Cemetery.
Like a Phil
They gave her
Leotardo?
dignity at the end. And I was like, I get it.
okay.
She was a sad, broken young person who may have been the victim of her father as well. I didn't want the dignity. I wanted her to get fucking dragged through the mud.
I mean, she
Or
got
under a car.
Leotardo. That's pretty good. Getting Phil Leotardo is pretty good. Like,
Phil
that's-
Leotardo. Yeah, Sopranos
Nice.
is me and Dandino's love language. I get it.
Love it. I love it.
Just two guys by a gas station like, oh, fuck. Some poor farmer's going to check on his cattle and is going to find this and he's
just
going to ruin his life. Now he's defined again by this girl that he's not wanting
That
to.
girl's head exploded. You know, however.
I'm just
whatever
a
they
nice
sound
cattle farmer on my way to church, and I found this fucking blown up prom queen. Oh my god! Yeah, that
you find
voice
that
was
body
all
and
over
you
the
have
place.
no context about how terrible she is. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you're gonna be this poor young girl.
Oh, girl.
You're watching the destruction of an
Now
innocent
I'm
young
just doing
girl on the
Liverpool.
best
Yeah,
night of her
she's
life.
just
That's what that
exploded on the
farmer.
ground. You're like, jeez.
Yeah, I don't know. That's my one quibble. I do think, to wrap this up, I think this is just an absolute. This is the dream for all of us who want to make movies, man. If this was your first movie, what an absolute fucking just shot across the audience. Like, I'm fucking here.
Absolutely.
To tell you these fucking stories, right? And again, it's not just graphic. To Dandino's point, it's not graphic for graphic's sake. He really did the work, man, to build characters and to make sure the casting was spot on. I think this movie is just one of those, like, we're making our first movie. There's no way it's as effective as this. And I can't even be mad because I was thinking back, it's like, this is one of my favorite debut movies from a horror director. Like, this movie fucking rips. And I'm not surprised he went on to make The Devil's Candy and Dangerous Animals, which I love too. I love, and again, it's a kind of thing you say with musician, right? That sophomore slump. All that stuff they built up, right? And their artist DNA. They dropped that on the first album. This is their announcement to the world of who they are. And this to me is like an amazing like first album from a punk band, right? And you're like, fuck yeah, dude, I totally get
That's
it.
a good way to put it. This does feel a little punk rock. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
is a
is.
little
And it's
punk,
just
yeah.
it's this fucking announcement of like, this is the artist I want to be. And I fucking adore this movie, man. Again, not enjoyable to sit through at all. Like it's really like getting beat up outside of a bar.
To that credit,
But-
I did text Griffey in the middle of this movie like, dude, this is not going to work for me. And
yeah.
then by the end,
Alex
I was like,
not
totally
enjoying
works.
his time.
And then by the end, I was like, you know what? Fucking rules. Never mind. I'm in.
You were a
This
good
fucking-
soldier. I appreciate that.
Love
This fucking weirdo took it. Good.
Dooley,
Sorry to
what's
put you through
what's
that.
your final love letter to
Perfect.
the
It
movie?
was
man?
wonderful.
My final love letter.
Yeah.
We're not talking messed up moments now.
No,
this is
just
love
like
letter?
your final send off to this beautiful movie we've shared.
Yeah, I mean it's we've kind of covered it ad nauseum at this point, but it's just they walk the line. Sean Byrne and his cast found that perfect balance between let's do something really fucked up, let's do something to like make everyone squeamish every second of this movie, but also give it enough of a reason, enough enough character beats, enough story beats that you're okay with what's happening because you want to see where it goes next, and you you just desperately want those young kids to find themselves and get out of this terrible situation.
No shit, dude.
And they do.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Now the important part. Alex, what's the most messed up moment in The Loved Ones? I mean, there's a this.
I don't know. Did you watch the movie?
Since we did the Toxic Avenger 1, this might be the biggest smorgasbord of messed up moments we've had to pick from.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can't, like, I mean, beyond the movie being just messed up. I mean, look, anytime you're gonna non-subtext throw that incest card in there, I'm like, that's it right there. That's the most messed up thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, there's something about
Anytime.
like getting the dress on, and you're like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
By the time they're dancing and doing the "Daddy, You're My Prince Charming" with their mouths open like fish
like,
on a rack, that's
we're
horrible.
like we're like at Nicole Kidman and Cameron Bright in Birth level of gross, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah, you're just like, no, who's the bad one? Like, this is not good. Who's responsible for this? Why is this happening? Yeah, that is truly awful. Dooley, what's the most messed up moment in The Loved Ones?
Yeah, honestly, the most messed up moment is it's the trying on of the dress. Like, he doesn't ask, she asks him to stay and watch her try on the dress. And I don't remember if he actually does this or not, but in my mind, he actually licks his lips at one point.
Okay.
Because whether or not that actually happened on screen, that was what they were wanting me to believe happened. And yeah, that was the most messed up moment of the whole movie.
Weirdly, as soon as you said that, that's how I remember it too. I know there was like a lip quiver, because they do this like from his POV to the panning up on her underwear as the dress comes up. There's a moment when she's trying to zip it all the way up and she can't, and she gives these like eyes back through the mirror to him. Like, are you going to come help me finish? And you're like, yeah. I don't know that he licked his lips, but the performance is selling me in his mind.
here's the thing.
He definitely
it feels
licked his
like it happened. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels
That's
as
the
if it
problem.
occurred.
This is definitely I know Greedo shot first. You're telling me I'm wrong, but I know it happened. I know that happened. That Greedo shot first. This is the
I know
incestual
something
Greedo
gross
shot
just
first
happened.
moment.
I might not have seen it, but it happened.
That's
Yeah.
right.
All right, so let me run through some honorable mention messed up moments that we didn't get to, right? We've got the steak knife through the foot hammer, right? We've got the, if you don't pee in this jar in 10 seconds, dad's going to nail your dick to the floor with a possible I will kiss or bite it off. We've got the people under the stairs, cannibals who eat possums and or chubby cops who get
know what's
thrown down
weird?
the well.
The least shocking thing in the whole movie was the people under the stairs. Like,
That's the moment where you're like, oh, thank God.
that was another one of those.
Honestly,
oh my
I felt
God,
bad for them.
sweaty.
Eat whoever you want at this point, guys.
You
I was like,
deserve
these
it.
guys
You
are
have a heart.
starving.
Yeah, if I had to pick the most messed up moment, also honorable mention that I had forgotten, maybe this is I'm getting older and I work at an elementary school. I don't want to watch a blacked out teenage girl get railed in the back.
Not at all.
While some footloose like administrators knocking on the window. I don't need that in my life. From my side
thank
character
you.
who I thought was the noble
There was
comic
the scene-
relief. I don't
When
need
she
that.
starts jerking him off on the dance floor, she like turns to a kid and is like, "What are you looking at?" And I'm like, "You're jerking a kid off in the middle of
Yeah.
a dance.
You
That's
know!
not an okay.
You know what he's
You
looking
know.
at. I don't want to see it, but
acting
if
all
that
indignant
happens in
about
public, I have to watch. I know something not right is happening. I'm a reporter now. These are all
You don't
not
get to be
good
rude
moments.
about that.
Yeah, if I have to pick, I think the messed up moment that was kind of the shot across the bow for me is it finger licking good? That scene
Yeah.
was fucking repulsive. We just open up on this boy. We know who's been abducted. He's now in a tuxedo. How did that happen? He's tied to a chair. There's a woman at the other side of the table who has a hole drilled in her head. The girl's in a prom dress. The dad's sitting there with this fucking maniacal Texas Chainsaw look on his face. And she just is trying to feed the mom and dumping milk down this comatose mom's face, which is degrading and horrible. And she looks over. Oh, are you hungry? And she starts rubbing chicken on his face. She's like, Daddy, get the hammer. He's not eating. Is it finger licking good? She says about 10 times. She makes him suck her fingers. Everything about this is when you know this is a movie that wants to hurt me. This movie wants to hurt me. It wants to scar me. It wants to inflict things upon me that I don't want. And I was right. Like, the moment I saw that chicken, I knew I was going to get hurt by a movie, and I did a lot. But it was awesome. I kind of liked it. It was like a brutal, horrible therapy session that I didn't know my high school broken child needed. So I would say that
100%.
was my most messed up moment. There was more graphic moments,
Sure.
but that one I feel like I'm going to think about a lot for a long time. That one got me. So once again, Dooley, thank you for joining us. Thank you for talking about this fucked up great movie with us.
You.
My
You
pleasure.
are one of my favorite people. I do want to say for the audience, I call everyone man and dude. I'm not trying to be insensitive, Dooley. I'm sorry.
All good, all good.
You know I have a good heart and a bad brain. So, so I want to make that clear to the audience. Would you like to tell everyone again where they can find you online, the movie you're trying to make, and how we can support it?
Yeah, again, we're making Terms and Conditions, a little horror comedy about a douchey tech bro who messes with the AI and demons and gets more than a bargain for. And you can follow along or support the project at termsandcons.com. And you can get to our Instagram and Blue Sky off of that page. So just head over to termsandcons.com. Thank you, guys.
Beautiful. And I will put all that in the show notes. Make sure you find it. Make sure you join me as a supporter of this project. I can't wait for this to happen. We're very happy for you. I know you're going to make something awesome, and I'm excited to be a small part of it. However, get the word out. People, help make this movie. We will be back for another episode. Make sure you go to the Messed Up Movies Podcast Patreon page. A quick plug, because we met Dooley there. Make sure you go to the Junk Food Cinema Patreon page. Join the community over there with me and Dooley. Brian, another one of my favorite people of all time. I hear that Cargill guy's okay too. Make sure you go to Indiegogo.
But Brian is the best people.
Yeah, Brian is my guy. Make sure you go to Indiegogo. You have to type in Mr. Cream Jeans because we've been shadow banned. You can get the perk where you can come join us on the pod like Dooley. Have fun and help us get our first shitty movie across the finish line. It's not shitty. It's going to be a laugh riot. That's for sure.
My producer keeps telling me to quit referring to my movie the same way.
Yeah, it's one
just
of those
this dumb little thing I wrote. Don't call it that. Okay.
I know Heath hears me say this all the time and gets mad. It's my very Midwestern thing. I'm always trying to downplay everything, right? Yep. I don't want to be one of those guys who just talks about cinema all the time. Yeah, you can help us make our movie. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
right. Dandino does that for all of us, for sure.
That's right.
And find Misfit Parade on YouTube. Subscribe there. You can see video versions of the pods, other stuff we're doing there. And we're on all the socials. We'll see you next time.